Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 16th, 2022 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and clear the energy space, I just want to thank each and every one of you once again for your kind wishes, your healing energy as I heal from this concussion. Thank you all so much. You guys are beyond the realms of amazing, so thank you once again. All right, now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Aquarius be affected by the February 16th, 2022 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So at the frontier is our inner self. The left-hand side, at the frontier is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The back is our emotional self. The right-hand side is the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Fool and we have the Star. Star represents us, Aquarius. So we are heading on a very profound journey during this time. Then we have in our inner selves the Emperor and the Sun. That is absolutely beautiful. The Emperor is Aries energy. So if we have Aries within our natal chart, that comes through very powerfully here within our inner selves. And the Sun is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. Our emotional selves, we have the Two of Swords and we have the Six of Pentacles. Emotionally, a road is opening up to us that we didn't see before. We need to put things in balance to be able to really accept it. We then have the Ten of Wands, and we have the Fool. We have the Fool now showing up twice, which is really quite beautiful. We're putting down a burden. We're releasing a burden to be able to kind of go on an adventure, to be able to move forward in a way that we had once maybe only dreamed of. So that's going to be really, really nice. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We need to be mindful of Uranus. Now, Uranus is Capricorn energy. So if we're born on the cusp with Capricorn, or we have Capricorn energy within our chart, be mindful of overwhelming practicality and also like the chaos that comes in from things. So this isn't necessarily, this represents the devil, right? So Uranus represents the devil in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So this can be addictions, like whatever we're addicted to that is negative behavior, that isn't helping to progress ourselves forward in a positive, calm, loving manner is something that we have to be mindful of. So New Year's is chaos. It's every reaction, having a positive or negative reaction. And it's being aware of that during this time. It's also being aware of, kind of energy of people not thinking things through, not looking at the bigger picture. So do be mindful of that. We then have our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. All right, this one. Flexibility, which is the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra represents our creativity. It also represents our sensuality. Here we are looking at the flexibility of ourselves to embrace that creativity, to embrace that sensuality of self. But this is also where the drama of past lives are held, or of our past self. Not only our past self, but ourselves in this life and in previous lives. So this is going to be a time where we're looking at patterns and saying, okay, why am I falling into this pattern? Why am I, doing this? Why do I feel stuck this way? And it's releasing so much that has been holding us back. And that's going to be very important for us. Now let's look at this time astrologically speaking. We have here the full moon in Leo, and it says don't let pride get in the way. And that's what we have to be aware of for everybody. That we'll all have a tendency to let pride get in the way, not only us Aquariuses, but everybody else. So what we're going to see here is this energy of needing to look further than the eye, look at the collective we, but also look at the self in many different ways. What do I need, emotionally, spiritually, personally, financially? How do I need to move things forward? And not being in competition with others is going to be really helpful. Now, the story of the full moon begins in the same exact way every single time. It is the moon opposite the sun. And with the full moon, it is our family, our home, our relationships that all come into focus, as well as the opposite forces within our lives, our loves and our hates, our work and our home, our dreams and our fears. They're all coming into focus during this time, our wants and our needs. This is a time where we're seeking balance, and we need to listen to the inner voice within us as spirit is guiding us forward, and we need to listen to spirit guiding us. This is a very promising, very calm, very, very positive moon. There's not much going on, and yet what is going on is really quite beautiful. This is the first full moon in 2022 that does not have a Mercury retrograde attached to it, which is lovely. And you can say, Dane, there's only two full moons so far this time. Why are you pointing out that there's no Mercury retrograde in this one? That's because we're going to have 4 Mercury retrogrades this year and 8 shadow periods. So, things get complex, things get overwhelming. We need to be aware of that. We also have all our planets, going direct. Everything's kind of harmonized during this time. Mars is in conjunction with Venus and with Vespa. Mars comes through. Mars rules Aries. So that's going to be very powerful for us. We're being told to be mindful of Capricorn energy. Venus and Vespa are in Capricorn, so do be aware of that. But what we have during this time is a go-getter, get things done attitude, and this alignment of Mars in conjunction with Venus and Vespa. And we also have to remember that Mars and Venus in mythology, they were lovers. So we have the waking world, what we need to do, how we need to conquer our lives and move forward, like the battle of living, right? And then we have the emotion, the heart, coming together, intertwining during this time. This alignment is also in harmony with Uranus and with Neptune. We are ruled by Uranus, so this is a big deal for us. This means that the energy is very centered around what we want and what we need to move forward towards our own dreams, towards our own desires. Neptune rules our visual communication, as well as representing our dreams and what we hope to be and how we hope to become and how we hope to have our dreams coming forward in our lives. Neptune is also known as the Lord of the Unseen World, which is important because we're bringing during this time, and we're wanting to bring our unseen world forward into our world, into our waking reality. The visual communication is about art. It's about, expression. It's about ideas. It's about, imagination. And that's going to be important for us because being ruled by Uranus, this is the innovator. This is the unpredictable, imaginative, creative, idealistic energy that guides us forward. This is the energy of the creative and scientific genius, which is absolutely amazing. This energy of Uranus has us looking outside of the box. That's why we kind of always break the mold, Aquarius. It is important to know that the lunar nodes are activated by the full moon. And the lunar nodes are known as the nodes of fate because it is said that our destiny is echoed between the north and the south lunar node. The south lunar node brings the energy of our past, including our past lives, into our story. And this is also looking at our story, our history, what we desire, how we're moving forward, from our past. And the north lunar node is our present, what we need to accomplish, how we want to move forward in the now type of thing. That's also why the north and south lunar node are called the head and the tail of the dragon. The head being the north lunar node, looking at the present, the tail bringing everything into balance. Jupiter is in Pisces, and Jupiter represents success. This brings us optimism and enthusiasm. There is an air of being able to accomplish what once seemed absolutely impossible. So that's going to be really beautiful. On the 2nd of March, we have the new moon in Pisces, which is what we're really moving towards during this time. And remember, the energy of a full moon lasts for 2 weeks up until that new moon. We have the Fool here at our root. We are looking at what we desire, what we want, how we want to move forward in a way that people might laugh at, they might not understand, or that we might be saying, oh my gosh, get a life, Aquarius. Think of things practically, get your feet firmly planted on the ground. Try to be a practical, person just like everybody else is. That isn't going to work for us. All right. And that's going to be something we have to just acknowledge and be aware of. I've tried to do it myself on numerous occasions, and, Spirit has always led me back to maybe the less traditional, but the place that Spirit has wanted me to be in this expression, in this way, finding the tarot, doing all this stuff. So being aware that we are going to be led in directions that might seem foolish to others, but it's our hero's journey. Every single hero of their own story, every single person who becomes a hero, right, in ancient tales, or even in our rags to riches stories that we look at now, was considered a fool. People thought, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Why are you not conforming like everybody else? Here we have the star. It is our dreams. It is our wishes. It is our desires. It is the deep-seated need that we have. Not what we cross our fingers for, saying, what can I acquire? But what is it that I want during this time in my life? Like, what is it that I want for my life, my soul, myself? How is that wish being heard? How are we living that expression of that wish? But also, how are we moving towards ourselves? How is divinity hearing that and expressing that during this time? We have to not be afraid to follow our beauty, to follow what we desire, to take that leap of faith within ourselves. And it brings us to the Emperor. It's like, okay, this is the here, this is the now, this is what I need. This is the energy of this time. I'm going after XYZ. I'm looking at this much more openly, much more honestly. This is the paternal force. This is the practicality. It is claiming the throne. It is knowing that not only do I have my life to rule, but I have a empire to rule as well. And we can look at that in our lives. Not only do I have to get myself up, but I have to rule this little empire of me simply existing. And so here, we're claiming our power, we're claiming what we desire, and we're having the light shine on us. It's very much saying somebody has to lead the way. Why not me? And as this light shines on us, we're beginning to express ourselves, we're beginning to, stand a little taller, hold ourselves with this determination, this focus, this pride, this understanding, this sense of insight and ideas. The sun, well, it is the star. It is our closest star. So we always very much relate to the sun card when it comes up. It always very much calls to us and what we want and what we're discovering and what we're needing within our lives. There is a sense of transformation here. There is a sense of insight and ideas and becoming and a greater understanding of who we are. The sun shines on us, and people will take us by eyes because of this. They will say, why do you get to lead the way? Why do you get to be confident in your life? Why do you get to look at it this way or that way? And we need to not let them push us off our path, push us from who we are. It moves us to the Two of Swords. We always thought we'd walk down road A or road B. Now, as we are blindfolded, we're going to see that different paths open up in extraordinary ways. And as those paths open up in extraordinary ways, we're looking at putting things in balance, seeing what is needed, seeing what we desire, looking at the harmony that we need to call in. Something is out of balance here. And as we're putting it back in balance, as we're calling it out, it has to do with our finances. It has to also do, it may not be with our finances, but it can be at work, or it could be the way, things are being handed out. There we go. We're going to go with that word during this time. And so being aware of this is going to be very helpful to us, very focusing, very, kind of determined during this time, as we're looking not only at the energy that is being given out, but also the way that we're handling things, the way that people may have their hands out more or expect more, and we're looking at it and it's like, is this fair? We need things to be balanced during this time, especially at work. I'm very much seeing this. It's like, okay, is this energy balanced? Is it harmonious? Is it helping me lead forward? Is it, helping me go after what I want, what I'm desiring for myself? And we have the 10 of Wands. And this is burdens and demands and overload. And it repeats that burdens, demands, and overload around us like a mantra. And, sometimes I very much feel like this is just like the waking world, right? Everything that we put on our shoulders. Here, she's being tied to the stake. She's being burnt alive. And sometimes it can feel that way. It's like, and that's a gross exaggeration, right? But it can feel like everything that I'm being burdened with is taking away from my joy in my life. Everything that is being demanded, being done, like being looked at, being taken care of, is taking away from the expression of myself, from, how I am developing, how I, want to have my existence and myself. And as we realize this, as we look at it and say, okay, listen, maybe this is too much. We need to step back. We need to take quiet days for us if we can. We need to be able, or even just quiet moments where we can, just sit in harmony with ourselves. I've been doing this meditation since I've gotten my concussion, and it's called Mahazati. Now, I might actually be butchering the life out of that, which I'm pretty sure I am, but it's spelled Mahasati. And it's a hand movement meditation. And it's very much about being in the present. And so when we're looking at being in the present, it's like, how do I connect? How do I connect with this world right now as I am? And from doing that meditation, I've been finding that I've been connecting more with my waking world and not just simply trying to escape it. So here, it's going to be that energy of what is overloading me, what is burdening me, what is taking away my joy, my bliss, my sense of self and discovery. How is it that I can move forward for me and not only see the dirt on my shoes, not only see the flames that are coming type of thing? Because the Fool is telling us that yes, there's a purity, there's a potential, there's a risk, there's an innocence, there's a desire to jumping off the cliff, right? To going our own way, to embracing the extraordinary. But yet we're being called to it, right? The Fool is telling us it does not matter. You might look foolish. People might not understand. But as we move towards our success, as we move towards what we need within our lives, as we move towards what we desire, we start to find ourselves more and more and more. We start to see ourselves more and more and more. And so to be able to not move with the mass herd, not to become, just part of the sheep, type of thing is very powerful, or not just be one of the lemmings, is very powerful to sit there and say, no, this is my radiance. This is my power. This is the authority of my inner self. And this is what I'm embracing for me. It is a path that maybe I never thought I would walk, but it's a path that I'm finding balance in. And as that balance comes, the burdens, the hurt, the overwhelmingness of living and having people to take care of, or having people who depend on us, we're starting to say, wait, I get to have joyous moments in this life. I get to be more than just a, caregiver, than just a, worker bee, than just a XYZ type of thing. And it moves us towards looking at our potential, towards looking at what we fear and what we want and what we desire and what we need within our lives. And it moves us to the moon. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, goodness. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay. So at our root, we have a fiery climax approaches with the full moon in Aries. Protection. We are protected as this intensity comes forward, as we are shining bright, as we are embracing the very essence of ourselves and what we desire and what we are seeing and what we want from our lives. There's this sense of this fire, this determination, this intensity around us, and yet we are being protected, yet we are being guided. And it leads us to nothing will come of the situation blossoming. What we think, and we're going to have some really strong opinions about things during this time, what we think is going to happen, how we think it's all going to play out, it's not going to evolve that way. Here we are blossoming into who we need to be, what we are discovering, what we are, what we need from our lives. And that becomes a bigger sense, that becomes a greater picture. It moves us to our emotional selves, which is a new start. Is coming with the new moon, right? We're moving towards this new moon. This new moon is very important to us for one reason or another during this time. And we hunger. We hunger for the new start, for the new beginning that is coming, for the new power and the new potential that is being a part of us. It moves us then to our lunar public arena self. And that says it is time to give rather than take. Self-reflection. It is time to give of the energy that we want in this world, instead of even taking on more responsibilities. I mean, that can be something that seems so altruistic. Oh, I'll do that. Oh, I'll help with that. Oh, I got that. And yet we just pile so much upon our plate where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't possibly. And we reflect and we say, okay, how do I need to move forward for me, for what I desire, what I want, what I need within my life, in the presence, in my now. It moves us to our subconscious lunar message, which is, again, the new moon. Here we have the new moon eclipse, of course, and it says expect powerful change. Again, that change is coming forward. It brings self-love. It brings self-connection. And that's going to be something that is really quite beautiful for us and really quite powerful. It brings us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is Taurus energy, but it's falling into convention. It's traditions, it's rules, it's, authorities. And it's not saying break all conventions. It's not saying that we have to go that extreme if we don't want to. But what we are going to see here is that there is a powerful change. There's a powerful purpose that is leading us forward, and that we can't be driven by others' expectations. That's going to be a really important thing. It leads us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is peace. Peace is coming over us. Peace is guiding us. Peace is moving with us. And this is the crown chakra. Peace is crowning us. And as we are crowned in peace, we start to see ourselves, find ourselves, understand ourselves more and more and more. And it's saying here, calm down the world. Calm down the world and be in the present of the now. Be here. And that sounds like such an easy thing, and yet it is one of the hardest things to do. It moves us to our subconscious rooted message. And that is death, which sounds ominous, but it is the rebirth of ourselves. It's the fact that we are changing and evolving and becoming and looking at things differently than we have before. And as we're stepping into this energy of change, we are stepping into the energy of ourselves. It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's a cliche, yes, but it is powerful because it is saying that what once was rubble now is becoming that beautiful, majestic bird that brings forward change, that brings forward prosperity, that brings forward blessings. And that's what we're moving towards, because we have evolved. As the human being that we are, we have evolved. It leads us to our subconscious inner self, and it's the Wheel of Fortune. It's again that avenue of change, that power of change. The Wheel of Fortune here, it is the women of fate. It is the maiden, the mother, and the crone. It is the wisdom. It is the nurture. It is the innocence, the naivety. And it's not a bad thing. People talk about innocence or naivety in a bad way. It's all almost as if we all have to be these hard, jaded people who are expecting everybody to swindle us and be cruel and be mean. No, the Wheel of Fortune is coming in and saying there's a time and place for every aspect of who we are. And we're going to see our world opening up. We're going to see us stepping into a new season of ourselves and what we want and what we're becoming and what we're discovering within us. And that brings a change, that brings wisdom, that brings intensity, that brings greater understanding. And it moves us to our subconscious emotional self. And that is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is hard work and discipline and dedication. It's also the mastery of something, doing something, putting in those 10,000 hours type of deal. But it's also the creativity. It's understanding the lessons that divinity has been throwing in our way. Why we say, oh my gosh, why does this always happen to me? Because it's helping us learn. It's showing us. It's opening up doors that if we step out of the chaos of the moment, we step into the actualization of the self. Which again sounds so easy, but is so hard to do. It brings us to our subconscious public arena, and that is the star. That is ourselves. And here it reads, guiding light, inspiration, faith, hope, miracles, infinite energy. And that's what we are. We are this guiding light, this inspiration, this hope, this infinite energy, this brilliance, the miracles that come as the star rises, as we realize the radiance within ourselves, that we are little suns. We are part of and connected to the happiest card in the whole entire tarot. Let us revel in that beauty. Let us connect with those dreams. Let us look at the miracles within us, and let us move forward in that power. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, the intensity, and the brilliance of ourselves, of this moon, and of the power that is around us. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius, and may you have a blessed moon.